Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. He gets away from one. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
First down 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jahan, ready? Mike 45. Yo, get this worm on. Kill.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. In on the tackle, Devondre Campbell, Falcons leading tackler in 2018.
Second and 8 at the 22-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. To throw is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be third and 10.
Jahan, ready? Where's Jahan? Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Alert flare, alert. Lino. Where's Jahan?
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. 19 yards that time for number 19. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On second and 9, Cousins. And that's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
That'll go as a 39-yard punt, give him 9 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 27. A carry for Devontae Freeman, who missed most of last season. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Ryan. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Here's Ryan to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today. 300.
Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The throw left side complete to Treadwell. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devondre Campbell flies in to blow that play up.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
45. Mike, 45.
Here we go.
Hey, exit. 45 to Mike. Target.
3rd and long for Cousins. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he gets it down to the 32. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Let's go, boys. Bring it on.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I got him. Hey, wait.
Here's Ryan. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Ryan. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Now Cousins, and they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Mike, check, 59.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the...
Hey, Charlie.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And Owen coughed it up, and the Falcons grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that one coming on his opening carry of the season. Do you give him a mulligan?
You would like to, but this game counts. If this were preseason, he'd get a mulligan. But this is for real, so not expecting that at all. Got to find a way to take care of it. I'm sure he'll get other opportunities.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Check 31.
51, Sam.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered cover. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. Now it's Ryan. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, that's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Check it back.
On the carry, it's Cook. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And all the way up to the 31-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV. Called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
45. Mike, 45.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He will find the rookie from Oregon, Dylan Mitchell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check nickel.
Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. 25 yards that time. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Drop deep, drop deep.
Cousins to throw it. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Bailey got the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
I'm here all day. Ready to go.
Back to the air, Ryan after the pick six. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Falcons' 32-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Pull it together.
To throw is Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Screen, watch the screen. Switch.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Dan Bailey for the Viking field goal. A 46-yard attempt.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
That's it, baby. We're going to work. At their own 19-yard line.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On second down, it's Freeman. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
The offense on third down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Now it's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A toss to Cook. There's some space here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend showed that he's right.
They run again on first down. Cook looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Second down, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins now. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Second and goal at the 1-yard line.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Watch the run, watch the run.
To throw, Cousins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So it's 3rd and goal, and now the question, can this Falcon defense stand tall once more?
Hey, Ken! Hey, Stever!
Now Cousins to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Bailey's kick is good. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice.
Let's go. 25-yard line.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you've got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Got it.
Throwing again. Ryan. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Let's go, fellas.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5.
Let's go, deep tight.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Throwing is Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 29, Ryan. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. The reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
Here's Ryan. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 35. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
At the 16-yard line.
Hey, Mike 25. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Go on. Come on, D. Let's go.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The Falcons on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A 12-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons cut into that lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Now Ryan leading the Falcons up to go for 2.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They'll try and run with Freeman. And after the good game last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Keep playing
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. Room here to run. He's got daylight. 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 79 yards. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is now 24.
Next to score, Vikings 30.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Just like that.
On first down, Ryan. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
16 yards, but it brings up 3rd down.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Here's Ryan. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at about the 31. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And the young buck, the rookie, just racked up his first career interception.
And how about the scouting department? They've got to be very happy right now because in NFL parlance, he's a third-day selection. Anyone after the fourth round, that's big-time scouting right there. And what a great play he just made.
They start the drive with Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Vikings on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Cousins on first down. And that's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. But it'll be second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 12 yards there and a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Hey, foxtrot.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That is caught at the 7. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. They'll run with Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 16. Operating from the gun. Ryan over the middle. That's caught by Ridley. And they work this out past the 25. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46.
Let's get off the field.
Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. But the Falcons were able to recover, so they will keep possession. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Ready? 525. Watch 54. In your face.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And it's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 16.
48.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 14. Cousins now. The open man is Smith. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 44-yard line.
Jahan, 180. Check, 45 to Mike. I'm coming.
The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Cook following the penalty. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone.
Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready. Strike 25. Hey, 59, ready. Jim. Hey, express.
Now Ryan on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
58. 25, get up, ready to go.
They're going on fourth down. It's Ryan. He's got a man, complete. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for first and 10. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. But now I'm listening to you. So for Minnesota, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers.